Rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets.
Present.
Greg Miller.
Present.
Jim Skinner.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have the minutes from the October 28th regular meeting.
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes for October 28, 2024.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Okay, minutes are passed. Next, we have the claims. They're sitting right there by you.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Okay, approval for the claims is passed. Were there any public comments? Does anybody have anything to say? Okay. Oh, my gosh. One person. Oh, but you're next up on the agenda, so we're ready for you, Chief Shoemaker.
If you're okay with it, Mayor, I'd like to have a swearing in after approval, and then I'll come back and do my department report.
Okay, that'd be fine.
A few months back, as you know, Major Jason Albaugh retired. Lieutenant Eric Booth took over the detectives unit, and I think just on November 4th, the Deputy Chief of Police, Captain Brady Swords, and Lieutenant Eric Booth did a promotional process and recommended someone to me who I think you'll remember was your first hire as mayor. So Casey, or Charles, let's go with Charles today. Come up here, Charles. Officer Charles Bates was recommended by the promotional board to be promoted to detective. He has been a police officer for the city of Frankfort for 4.5 years. He's been a member of our patrol division and now part of our drone unit. And I think he was very instrumental. He don't want to take much credit for it, but he helped with the code enforcement program and actually helped me out a few times when we were busy in that division. Casey or Charles, what do you want me to call you?
You can call me whatever you want.
Charles. We call him Casey. We call him Charles, and I do it interchangeably all the time. Charles is an analytical person. He's one of the smartest people at the Frankfort Police Department, and I think he will be a huge, just a game changer for their new unit led by Detective Booth in ensuring that every victim of a crime in the city of Frankfort, that their case is investigated to the fullest extent. And I know that Charles will not give up, and that's why he was selected by the board. And I would ask that, our promotional board, and I would ask the Board of Public Works and Safety to appoint Charles Bates as detective effective November 25th, 2024.
I'll second the motion. Congratulations.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Congratulations on your promotion. That's exciting. We're looking forward to having you. Okay, and I think now we're going to go ahead and do this swearing in.
Yeah, we'll do that, and family, you want them all up here? What do you want to do? Come on up. This whole family here. Out this way over here. Carrie, you stand right here. Make sure you can be seen there. Back up a little bit. There you go.
Have you got everybody where they're supposed to be? Okay, your left hand on the Bible, right hand. Okay, where do you want me for pictures? Right there. Right here. Okay. Repeat after me. I, Charles Bates. I, Charles Bates. Solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. I will support. That I will support. That I will faithfully, impartially, and honestly my office as detective according to law and to the best Yeah. Yes, okay. I'm gonna have you sign right here. Okay, we just happen to have one.
Congratulations.
And then she'll make copies, make sure you get it. You can hang that in your office.
You do a great job. You look good in it.
Congratulations, we're excited to have him as a part of the detective division. Wherever you all can fit, yep. Thank you. Again, congratulations.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate it. I know you'll do great. Think back to all those days. Yeah. All right. Yeah, now we get to go.
Okay, we'll be expecting you.
Trying to get together for lunch or something, okay?
Maybe not. Maybe not all of it.
Okay, I guess he's gonna go out there for some pictures, and so we'll just move on the next department. Where's Matt? There he is, Chief Stidham, you're up. Yeah.
All right, good evening, everybody. Just an update on some of the things going on at the fire department. First, I want to obviously let you know that we're working towards the fire station. It's a very exciting time for us. Tonight at the city council, I think we'll finally get everything finalized, I hope. I think Alicia's got everything ready, so we'll get everything finalized. And they'll be starting construction hopefully in the next 60 to 90 days, depending on how things go. I just want to give you guys a picture of the drawing that they had presented to us that the station would look like, so that way you guys at least have a copy of it. We put a lot of work into it. I know Alicia's put a lot of work into it, the mayor, myself, the council. We've just really kind of been working towards it, and I think we finally got to the point to where we can move ahead. A little bit update on our trucks. Engine 3 is still in the shop. We don't have any estimate on what that's going to be yet. They did tell me they had it tore apart yesterday. Found some things that they didn't feel was correct, so they're kind of working towards getting us a quote on what that's going to take to get repaired. In hindsight of that, though, one of the better things I want to at least report to you is that we have talked to Pierce, and it looks like our truck is a little ahead of schedule. So I'm really kind of hoping that they're going to stay on their schedule, and they're looking at maybe a delivery sometime in December of '25, or at the latest, maybe January 26. So that's about a year ahead of schedule. So I'm pretty excited about that. We'll kind of know a little bit more over the next few months. We'll have to go down to do our spec process with them. So they said that was scheduled for first quarter of next year. So hopefully it's going to move along pretty quickly.
Exciting.
No word on the ladder or the Quint yet, so I'm sure that's still a few more years out, but at least we're moving towards getting some of these replaced. Other than that, I think that's really all that I have for you today. Just want to give you a little update on what's going on, and that's where we're kind of at with the trucks right now. Okay,
Okay.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Chief. Street Department, Jason Forsythe.
Where are you? You want me to bring that up, or?
Sure.
Okay. I really didn't have anything on the agenda, just a few department reports until about an hour ago. Just real quick, in regards to the department, we're still in leaf season. We moved over into Northwest. Actually, today we had double trash pickup, so we didn't do any leaves today, but we'll be back over there tomorrow and continue our John around the city. But, and also myself and Brian Kilman will be going to a traffic control conference on Thursday, just for one day. We'll be back on Friday. Just wanted to let everyone know that. But if you notice downtown near Veterans Park, we've been working with the RDC to put in a couple, new parking lot. As you all know, we have always had a difficult time with parking in the city, and so Crenshaw's was ordering a bid for that, and he's, I think, almost finished with that, actually. And then also, we are working with Alicia and others on redoing the parking lot at Slabby's Barbecue. It belongs to the city as well. I kind of wanted to bring that up tonight if I could, because that is also, and I have both contracts for that Alicia prepared, which I appreciate very much. I'll get those signed by the RDC and also by Crenshaw's. But what I want to discuss, and that she's prepared too, is an interlocal agreement between the city and the RDC for the Slabby's parking lot. And if you have anything you'd like to say, shoot for
Sure,
it.
I'm ready.
All right.
So Slabby's parking lot is owned by the city. The RDC has proposed, and they have not yet approved this, so this would be contingent upon RDC approval. They have proposed to pay for resurfacing of that parking lot after the parking study came out, and it was determined that there was a lack of parking downtown. They made that a priority, and their focus is really on economic development and that sort of thing. So that's within their wheelhouse. In order to have them pay for that parking lot, since it is owned by the city and not the RDC, we would have to have an interlocal agreement that essentially says that we are going to allow the public to use that parking lot, that the RDC can use it for economic development purposes, e.g. downtown parking, and that they would then pay for that resurfacing. And so I do have an interlocal agreement prepared that essentially provides just that. It just says that the city will allow public parking on that lot to promote economic development and growth in the downtown area. The city shall enforce the public parking ordinances on the lot because it is a city-owned lot. The commission shall provide funds to resurface the lot and shall contract with a competent contractor to provide such resurfacing. And then if we want to, we can terminate that interlocal agreement by providing written notice to the other party. So that would just allow the RDC, if they would choose to move forward with that project, that they could then do that.
Will that then be a public lot? There won't be any rental spaces on those for individuals?
It isn't right now, is it? I didn't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, right now it's not any rental spaces. So
Okay.
we're thinking just leaving it public,
Right.
just because of the parking study we
Sure.
just got back. So it followed those same rules of the number of hours
Okay.
that you could park there.
Very.
I guess it's just not in very good shape, isn't that correct?
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
you need a motion for that? Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the interlocal agreement between RDC and the city of Frankfort.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Okay, and then that will be taken to the RDC for their approval as well. Okay.
I've already spoke with Wanda about that today, Mayor, and she's going to make sure that gets taken care of at the next meeting. While I'm up here, just real quick, in regards to the downtown parking lot, because Alicia mentioned the 3-hour parking, that will also be enforced. 3-hour parking, we'll be putting signs up out there. And then I recommended to the mayor, if, I don't know if it needs approval or not, but to go ahead and make that location a one-way towards the north off of Washington Street, if that's okay.
We'd have to do an ordinance to that effect. And then we'd also need to include in our ordinance that it would be 3-hour parking, because I don't think that's currently included. So in order to enforce that, we'd want to put that in our ordinance. And then we'd also need to do, and I haven't drafted this one because it wasn't as pressing, since the parking lot isn't finished yet. But for our next meeting, we will want to have an interlocal agreement with the RDC that is, because they own that lot. So the city would be enforcing it, so we'd have to do an interlocal agreement so that the city could enforce the 3-hour parking on that lot.
What she said. So it's, you
So
know, I
I'll get
guess
that
you guys
ready
got something to think about. if
Yeah,
that's
so
what you
I'll
wanna
get
do,
that
but,
ready for the next meeting. And then my goal is to have that one before the RDC and then bring it to the Board of Works because they will meet, well, they might not meet before you. I'd have to look at the calendar. So, yeah, so the next meeting, for each of you, I'll have that ready for.
And didn't you say about maybe 20, 25 spaces?
Should be about 25. I talked to Don, and we're required after 25, I believe, to have at least one handicap
One for
spot.
every
So
25.
Brian's aware of that when he goes to striping that for us.
Okay, good.
That he'll put in one of those handicap slots there. And we did put one across the street from there as well. So there's another one directly across the street from there as well. So in just that small half block, there'll be this one and two others that are there for handicap. But we are required for that one, if it's over 25, to have one. But I thought it'd be a good idea to have one in there either way, whether it was 25 or
I
not. So
agree.
that's all I have.
Okay,
All right.
thank you, Jason. Building services. Who's going to come up? Rob? Building inspector? Oh. I'm going to make him wait just a little bit.
All right, that'll be fine. First off, I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Skinner and Mr. Miller and Miss Judy for allowing me to have this position, for holding it for me, like you did. I hope hope you're not disappointed in the direction we're going. I will give you both, I don't know if Miss Judy told you, my first inspection, I stuck my head in Judy's office and said, hey, I'm going out on my first one. She says, good luck. And I come back 40 minutes later and said I had to fail them. So black catted right off the bat. So, but anyway, things have looked better since then. But I bring to you tonight the October permit record we issued. The girls did, Don did. This is before my time, but I will report it. We issued 114 permits. Out of those, 72 were roofs, 3 were single family homes, 1 was a duplex. And then we had an industrial structure addition, which is Donaldson's. They are adding a multi or mixed use room at the plant that will be new locker rooms, some different things for their employees. And out of that total value for October that you see, which $2.3 million, those are the big 3. Donaldson's, their estimated value of the project was $500,000. The total of the 72 roof permits was just a shade under $965,000. The 2 new homes and the 1 duplex estimated future value is $617,000. So I think those are some pretty good numbers for the city. Looks like we're heading in the right direction there. Of course, at this point, I have nothing to compare it to. So as we go further, I'll be able to give you more information on that. We do have an issue that we're addressing at the moment. I did not catch it. I'm just the one enforcing it. We have an issue with one of the builders in town, one of the housing additions. We have been in contact with them, Don and I, and the Building Services Department, along with Mayor Judy, and we have come to an agreement. Going forward, they will be finishing a few of the houses that they already have started, but going forward after those projects there, we have to come to some kind of a resolution because we feel in the department that they are not following code. They feel that they are, but they have agreed to stop when they get done with what they've got going right now before we go on to get a resolution between us and them that we are all on the same page. So just an update, and we will have more updates on that as we go along, but that's all I have tonight.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Don, did you have anything for us?
I didn't have anything, but then I got to think on the way down that might be a good time to talk about our newest company or business that's coming into town. Big B's Coffee is getting ready to move forward in the old Caesar Pizza facility in front of Walmart. I've seen their signs today. We've okayed them. And so you'll be seeing a coffee shop. It's more of a drive-through facility than it is to be inside. Their facility inside will only have room for about 4 people to sit as they want to keep people moving in there, in and out of their business. So good to have Big B's coming into town along with Popeyes. As you see that Popeyes is now in full swing and what's going on there. I saw roofing materials going in yesterday. So both stores are hoping to be open and going by January. So good to have 2 new companies or businesses coming into town.
Okay, thank you, Don. Joel, you're up next.
Keep waiting, Scott. I have a couple use agreements that I would like your approval for. The first one is for the community Thanksgiving dinner for the neighborhood center from Aaron Congleton. They do this every year. They would like the neighborhood center on the 27th and 28th of November, and their anticipated attendance is 200 people, and they would like the fees waived for that center.
I'll make a motion that we accept the application, approve for, is it Congleton Services? It's sponsoring that?
Yes.
For Thanksgiving dinner for rental of the Frankfurt Neighborhood Center, and the fees be waived also.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Okay, you have the approval.
The next one I have is from Mary Lynn Peters for the Christmas Tree Lighting Festival, which will take place on December 7th at Prairie Creek Park. It will take place December 7th, 2024. I noticed the application says 2004, but she would like use of Prairie Creek Park. So if we could go ahead and approve that, it's from 4 to 8 p.m., and she would like the fees waived as well.
I'll make a motion that we accept the application from Mary Lynn Peters regarding the Christmas Tree Lighting Festival on December the 7th, 2024. And we waive the fees of the rental.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Okay, you have approval of that as well.
And then I have a couple employees that I would like approval for. We have a full-time position that was vacated by Joe Brook month and a half or so ago. So we have chosen, with the board's approval, Ryan Edgar to fill that position. We feel like he brings some great assets to our department. And his start date would be November 25th.
What would his position be, Joel?
He's a park laborer,
Okay.
and he has passed all screening and everything.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we accept the recommendation of the Parks Department Superintendent for full-time laborer Ryan Edgar to be hired.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
And then I just had one come in today from Cheryl for one of our part-time labor positions. We would like to hire Brenton Bumgart, I think is how you say his last name, as one of our part-time park laborers. We have 2 of those positions open, so we would like to fill that. He has passed all necessary background checks and drug screens as well.
I'll make the motion that we take the recommendation of our superintendent, hire Brenton Baumgart, part-time park labor.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Okay, have the
Awesome.
approval for that.
As far as department updates go, we are continually working on Christmas. We have more Christmas things showing up every day. As far as some of our new things, you will see some new garland and stuff on the poles downtown. Those got delivered today. We have a new arch coming in that the guys are picking up tomorrow. And we just are working away, getting out all the displays up. It changes every single day out there. We're also working on getting the concession stand finished, and we are very, very hopeful that we will have it open for opening day of the soup kitchen and opening day of the lights. So we had to do some extensive rework there, but will look really nice when we're done.
So in the soup kitchen, can we just pick someone? Do we need to advertise it? How do we need to do that? I think in the past.
In the
we
past,
had-
it's just been picked.
Yeah, but
I mean, they're not making any money on it, right?
we're not.
Are they doing it for,
They're doing it.
Yeah.
okay. Do we have multiple people who are interested in it or just
You
the
don't think
one?
so?
I've just had the one reach out to me.
Okay.
In the past, we have not charged them.
We do a concession stand agreement just like we
Yeah.
would do for.
Yeah, and they get the profits, so.
Okay. I mean, if we don't have anybody else who's reached out, if we had multiple people interested, then we should offer it open for anybody. But if we've only got the one, I don't have a problem with picking them.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
I have a couple of things.
Uh-huh.
I had an individual reach out to me about disc golf
Okay.
and having a course at TPA Park.
Okay.
Thought maybe you could get grants or donations to make that happen, and also make it like an Eagle Scout project or something like that. So he was going to come here this evening, but something came up, he could not. So that's
Okay.
something to consider. I don't know how much space that takes or whatever, but I thought, it's worth checking into.
I
People
will
are
definitely
always
check
looking-
into it. I know they have a disc golf course at Camp Cullum.
Yes.
Because my family sponsored a hole out there. It was an Eagle Scout project. So
Yeah, that's what he was thinking. So anyway, I do have a phone number as
Okay.
well, but they're interested in that. Also, I wanted to present this to you, Joel. It is the 2024 Certificate for Outstanding Prevention, and certificate is for the Frankfurt Parks Department. Healthy Communities of Clinton County gave that to us the other night when we were there for from the Clinton County Coalition and Tobacco Prevention Cessation Program. And as you know, we made all the parks
right.
smoke-free. So anyway, here's an outstanding prevention and tobacco use certificate for the Parks Department.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll hang this in our office.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Kimberly, Community Development.
Good evening. First on kind of the agenda for mine is you should have received did you get your hard copy? Okay. You should have received your copy of the Economic and Residential Outlook for the city of Frankfurt. This included all areas, including the new annexed area as well. So just something for you guys to look out. This was part of the grant from the Community Foundation for the housing and study. Other than that, the only other thing that I have is to remind everyone Small Business Saturday is coming up, and I'm working with the Chamber and Frankfurt Main Street on highlighting local businesses throughout Frankfurt over the next couple weeks. Hard to believe we're already talking about Thanksgiving and shortly after that, Christmas. So that's all I have this evening.
Okay. Thank you, Kimberly. Okay, Carol, do you want to talk to us about the employee handbook?
Yes. So we made a change to our travel policy in September that we added to the handbook, but we did not get the handbook passed in its entirety. So there isn't anything new other than that travel stipend policy where we increased the meal allowance. However, we do need for the minutes to get the handbook passed so that it is the current edition.
Then you're going to update that as well then on the website. Okay.
Correct.
Then once we pass it, we'll put the date on it, right, Carol?
Yes, it will reflect tonight's date if it's passed, and then we have that direct connection with the minutes. It will also be in the minutes, so we can reference that as well.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make a motion that we accept the employee handbook for the city of Frankfurt as presented this evening.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Okay, we have the approval of the employee handbook effective today.
Can I add one more thing?
Yes.
So I laid at your station the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting schedule, which coincides with some of the council meeting dates as well, but this is the schedule for 2025. It follows our normal practices of meeting the second and fourth Monday of every month unless there is a holiday. And in the case of 2025, the Memorial Day holiday as well as the Columbus Day holiday would move the meetings on those two dates back to a Tuesday. Other than that, it's the standard schedule.
We need to pass this, or can we
You can,
just state it?
I mean, if we have a consensus, that's probably
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Are you okay with that? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Scott, are you ready for yours?
I'm glad to let everybody go before me, for once. There's a purchase that I had emailed out last week for we haven't had a pole camera for, I don't know, probably two years now. And because crime is down 22% and things are looking good in the city of Frankfurt, we do have unspent narcotics funds that we will not use. And I'd ask the board for us to be able to purchase this pole camera. Includes training and shipping in the amount of $9,399. The camera will be allowed, what we'll do is work with the utility department if we were to receive it. Like we did in the past, we'll be able to put it up in areas that we have information about drug houses or other criminal behavior at houses or businesses, and basically save a lot of overtime. And instead of the old way of sitting and doing surveillance, we would have it on the camera. That would be accessible via cellular technology to the detectives 24/7.
Anybody have any questions for Scott? Take a motion.
I'll second the motion.
Please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Okay, the approval to purchase that.
And department report, currently we're getting better. We have 2 in field training, 2 at the academy that will graduate on December 13th, and then 1 that is still injured on light duty. And so hopefully by January, second week of January, we will truly be, full staffed, have all of our positions, all of our promotions have been filled, and we're hoping to mid-January, barring any other issues, to have everybody where they're supposed to be. As I mentioned, last couple weeks, there's a lot of people that complain about speeding, stop signs, whatever it may be. The officers were accused of not being anywhere but the police department. And so we issued a statement, and I think it should be on the record. So far, these numbers are up to October 27th. There's a 22.8% decrease in crime compared to the same time in '23. Traffic stops are up 15.3%. So this is in between responding to 8,004 calls for service. The officers have made 5,779 traffic stops. They're not, sitting in a parking lot all the time. In fact, most of the time they're in a parking lot, they're doing paperwork. and not on the station to do paperwork. And so, no, unlike any other job, they're not going to be active their entire 12-hour shift. Most people do their 8 and go home. You know, our staff is working 12. It's a long day. We encourage them to work out. We encourage them to eat. We encourage them to take a break. And so I think that on top of that, traffic collisions are down from last year. Barely any are the result of an unsafe speed or disregarding traffic stop signs or lights. All other, out of the 313 crashes, 266 had nothing to do with those things, just inattention of a driver. And so far this year, we've had 0 fatal crashes inside our jurisdiction. So I want you guys to know that your police department, the officers are working hard and enforcing laws. We can't be everywhere. And I think that's where people, there's a study that's been done that 80% of complaints about speeding are perception issues, not active speeders in our city. And so we need to not be as reactive to people calling in and complaining in certain areas because it's not always what they perceive. And so we're hopefully at the next meeting, I'm working with a company that can take cellular technology, your vehicle technology. You're already sharing your location. So anytime you're using an app, you're sharing your location and your speed to data collectors. And on Thursday of this week, I'll be seeing all the data for Frankfurt for speed, and we'll be able to know within minutes if the board of works. I'm waiting on a price. They haven't given me a price yet. I worked with Jason, street department superintendent, last week to get how many miles of roadways are in Frankfurt, and they're going to give me a quote that I'll bring back to you guys. I assume before the Thanksgiving meeting, and if it's reasonable, I think it would be the entire city will be able to see exactly where people are not complying with speed limits using the same technology you're already giving. We want to have access to people's location. We'll just have access to the data that you're already giving on your phone. So that'll be an interesting meeting. I think I invited you and Jason. I don't know if you guys are busy. If I know Jason's unavailable, but I'll share it on that. The last thing I have on December 9th and 10th will be after, I think 18 months ago, you approved us to begin accreditation with the Indiana Law Enforcement Commission. And on December 9th and 10th will be it's game time. We'll have the state accredited assessors in. A couple weeks ago, we had members in Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, Lebanon Police Department, Anderson Police Department come through and judge and grade our building and our policies and procedures. We have half a piece of paper of notes that we need to get fixed and corrected by the December 9th date. So I know I will send Andrea. I think I carved out both days for you at lunchtime. So it's going to be the 9th. I'll reach out to her and make sure that you're there on the 9th.
Sounds good. Thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have the attorney. Alicia, what do you have for us this evening?
We did bids for the 2025 diesel and gasoline. And so we do have one bid from Keystone Cooperative. So that bid came in for a fixed price contract, 60,000 gallons of 87 E10 gasoline. It would be 2.15 rack price. Freight is 0.34 for a float price of 2.49. And then PDX off-road and on-road, 50,000 gallons. The price for the off-road is $2.41. Freight is 34 cents, so it would be 2.75, and same for the on-road. And then they also had an de-escalating contract where the fixed price would be $2.25. $2.65, and $2.65.
Can you give me that fixed rate again?
Yes, for the 87 octane, it's 2.2552. For the PDX off-road, it's 2.6562, and the on-road is 2.6532. So the board can either take that under advisement, or if you want to accept, you can do that. Yes. I don't know.
I don't have that.
I don't have the
with me,
numbers,
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at it since last year when I opened them.
We can look at what we've spent this year and last year, or, any previous years, and get that information to you if you would like.
Yeah, I don't have the figure for.
So if you want to take a look at those numbers, I would recommend you take it under advisement then.
We looked that contract up for us and see.
Yes, I can get that sent to all of you.
Yep, thank you. Thank you. You probably don't know this year's, do you, by any chance?
I don't, we typically, per the bid specs, we offer a fixed price where we can lock in the rate as well as fluctuating based on the markets off the rack. So pricing for diesel currently is kind of down right now. It's not a terrible time with election and things. It's fairly well.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
You want to make a motion to? Okay.
And then also compare what we are looking at for budgets for 2025 for our departments, what they have in their budgets for fuel. And, well, I did say we appreciate the individual for.
Yes, yes.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Okay, yes. As he said, thank you for being here this evening. And then we'll get that information together, and then hopefully at the next meeting, be able to make a decision on that. Okay, thank you. Okay, unfinished business. Does anybody have anything? Okay, new business. Jesse, do you want to come up and talk to us and explain a little bit the rates and?
Good evening. All right. So at the golf course, we've had a really good season. I know it started off really rainy, and we're kind of worried about our rounds of play, but we will talk about it further, I'm sure. But as far as rates of play this year, and it kind of explains why I've upped some rates. I haven't made a whole lot of changes, but we right around our 19,000 round number, which is 9 holes and 18, which we're really comfortable with, and we like to be around that number, and we're actually we're over that number this year for rounds played at our golf course. So I'll start off with our pass rates just real quick, just to give you a little overview. Everything pretty much stayed the same. I don't see a whole lot going up. I did make a change as far that will be new to the community. It'll have a weekday golf pass. This weekday golf pass will be Monday through Friday. It's a lower rate to pay, and you can also add a cart fee to it. What I'm hoping this does is opens up some public play on the weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays in the morning. Typically, a lot of members do like to play that time, but if we can open up those rounds to public play, it'll allow us to bring in a little bit more revenue to put towards the course. Saying that, do you have any questions about passes?
So did any of your passes go up outside of the change on the weekday pass?
No, actually, they rounded down a little bit.
Okay.
So nothing else has went up.
Okay,
As far as our rates, I think we're very competitive at our weekday rate. with the local golf courses and keeping it low for our players in town. I think keeping it there is very smart option. Our weekend rate, I do see an area where we could go up based on the other courses in the area and our amenities. Most courses in our area don't have a driving range. They don't have a chipping green. Most have a putting green. And we also have the upkeep of our bunkers, which is something we do need to work on this off season. With all that being said, though, I believe going up on our weekend 18-hole rate to 48, which is a, let's see, 36, $12 increase. I think it's not going to scare any of our players away from out of town. I think they're normally paying upwards of $50 per round at any golf course with our greens and tees and how we keep it. I'm sure Greg sees it. So the course is in great shape. We've done all the preventatives and we've done everything we can do to keep it moving forward. It's ready. It's sealed up, pretty much ready for winter. So whenever the weather does break, I think we got the lines cleared and irrigation and everything's in good shape. So other than the weekend rate going up, where I think it will benefit us and we'll have a little bit more revenue to put towards things and not have to ask the city for funding, I think will really help.
Good, good. Do you have any
A lot of
questions?
compliments from people from town that come here and play this, especially for the first time.
Uh-huh.
And then obviously word of mouth brings them back with some other people. So
Yep.
you're doing a great job out there.
Thank you.
It's very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
I echo those thoughts as well. I always hear good things about our golf course and how well it's kept, and I know you've told me before.
If it goes
too.
downhill, you'll hear it too.
Oh,
so.
yes, oh, yes.
Maybe more. So
But also that we
I'll
bring
keep them
peop-
off your back.
Good, that's what you should do. And you bring people in from other communities. I think that's good as well.
Correct,
so.
and I do. I have a heat map available, so if you ever like to see it, now that we're sending over reports regularly, I can also send over a heat map. We always ask for the zip code of players come in, and we can see where they're coming from out of town. So it's good for our marketing, and it's good for us to know who's coming to the city.
Exactly.
And one
Thank
thing
you.
about not only do they compliment your course, but I've never heard anyone say it's overpriced.
Right.
No one's ever said that.
I have never heard that either. Normally, the Board of Works approves these rates, even though they set them. If we're okay with them, then we would need to approve these.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 2025 rates for the Frankfurt Commons Golf Course as presented.
No, second motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Okay,
right.
thank you
Yep.
so much.
Thank you.
And then also, do we want to talk about this for a few minutes on your requesting the extension?
Yes.
So you want to tell us how that?
So our current contract allows for extension if we have a written document that requests an extension, and then we agree mutually to do that. So we have gotten a written request for an extension of the contract, so we could extend the contract if we wanted to. It looks like, are you changing any of the terms?
No, they're
Okay.
exactly the same.
So the terms would remain the same, and then we would just re-sign the contract for an extended period of time. So, so if you would like to do that, I can get the contract prepared and have it ready for the next meeting. Okay. Alrighty, I'll bring it for the next meeting.
Okay.
We also, while we're having this conversation, Wesley Manor, we have a contract with them for a portion of the golf course, and they reached out and would also like to extend their contract on the same terms. So I will also have that ready for you at the next meeting.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay, do we have any other business? Anybody have anything? Anybody out there? No? Okay, I'll take the motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you for being here this evening. Okay.